Greetings, beautiful faces. So, we are here on today to discuss dating someone who's not woke. Can you do it? I can't do it, but can you do it? Now, to save you all of that, extra time that Googling something takes, if you don't know what woke means, I'm going to give you the definition courtesy bustle.com. So, according to Bustle, Urban Dictionary defines woke as being aware and knowing what's going on in the community. It also mentions its specific ties to racism and social injustice. To use woke accurately in a sentence, one that captures its connotations and nuances, you need to reference someone who is thinking for themselves, who sees the ways in which racism, sexism, and classism affects how we live our lives on a daily basis. Or alternatively, someone who does not. So, in an attempt to keep this short and succinct and to the point, I'm just going to stick with, can I date someone who's not woke? No. I'm not going to go into being black in America. I'm not going to do that. I don't want this to take a whole left turn. Now, this is my left, but it's likely going to be your right. But know that I do know my left from my right, and I am pointing to the left. However, to stay on topic, I'm going to say no. Here's why. I believe that there are certain fundamental differences that can be held and still make space for a healthy relationship. There's room to hold varying points of view and still have a healthy relationship. For example, you can have people of different religions, in a happy and healthy relationship. You can, me personally, with my level of spiritualism, the type of faith that I have, I can be in a relationship with someone who is atheist or agnostic. That, for me personally, I can see that. May not be for all people of faith, but me, I can see that. But when it comes to a fundamental question about the nuances and microaggressions faced by me as a black woman in this country, you have to acknowledge that. I don't need you to 100% understand, because by all means, I'm still learning African American history myself. It's a long, extensive, centuries-long history, and it's like one of those things where there are too many people that have lived in this world for you to ever say that you know it all. There are millions of different points of view to take in, and that's the beautiful thing about history to me, is that it never ends, and there's always more information to be sought and ingested. I can't see myself with someone who is oblivious to and unempathetic to why I may feel the way I feel about certain occurrences in our current society. I feel like there's room to disagree on certain things. However, let me just give you an analogy. I am not a first-generation American. I have friends who are first-generation Americans, whose parents have immigrated to the United States and who, being born in this country, do still experience strong culture from outside countries because their parents come from those countries. My parents were born in the United States. My grandparents were born in the United States. So all I know is American culture. I have friends who have parents who were born outside of this country, so they identify strongly with American culture from their own personal experiences in their adult lives and how they've experienced the United States. Also, very strong identity with another country because of their home life and home experiences. Just because I am not a first-generation American does not mean that I am oblivious to the certain challenges that a first-generation child or first generation American may face. Empathy. I can't identify with it as something that I can't identify with it as a personal struggle, but I can understand and acknowledge that someone else may have a different American experience because of our differences in culture. I need that same empathy from someone that I'm dating. I need that same empathy from my partner in terms of my experiences as a woman of color. For example, I wouldn't expect a man to understand what it's like to be a woman the same way I don't understand what it is to be a man. However, we are empathetic enough to acknowledge that there are differences and that we are going to experience things differently, and we can work together to, support each other. So in terms of being a woman of color in the United States right now, I can't see myself dating someone that's not woke. You need to be aware that the shit ain't easy right now. It ain't never been easy, honestly. But you need to understand that you need to be aware of my uncomfort, with my sadness, with my confusion, with my hurt, and I need that support from you. I want us to be able to discuss how to fix these problems. I want us to be able to discuss how we're going to grow as a community, as a culture, as a people, as a couple. There are many different levels to it, but in terms of dating, I feel like there's certain things that we don't have to see eye to eye on, or there's certain things that we can fundamentally disagree on, but being black in America and the struggle that is, we got to see eye to eye on that. So what are your thoughts? Can you date somebody that's not woke? If you're woke, of course. So if you ain't woke, can you date someone that is woke? Do you see yourself being in a relationship with someone who shares such fundamental differences? Do you see yourself being with someone who, I guess it's like, a vegan dating someone, a vegan or a vegetarian dating someone that eats meat? I mean, we're going to have to compromise on where we go to eat, but at the end of the day, we can still come together on the decision that we got to eat. But is it that simple in terms of being woke and not woke? Can you do it? Drop your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to come back and check the next video. Bye guys.